It's cold. Okay. Hey, light bugs. It's video number 2. I normally do my videos in 2s. I noticed that. I don't know. 2 must be my lucky number. Whatever. Anyway, I digress. It's 11:44 on the clock. On December 29th, 2025. Okay. So, I just told my son, I was like, I'm gonna make another video. And he was like, okay, ma, whatever. And I was like, okay. The video that I want to make is called Protect Your Energy, right? And in a previous video, I was talking about how you have to be conscious, alert, and aware of the sins of the mother and the father. And understand and know, like, just because you were born to those particular parents doesn't mean that you have to follow in your parents' footsteps, or that you have to adhere to the environment in which you were surrounded or exposed to growing up. And so, in the midst of me having that conversation with my son, I was talking to him about also, like, being able to transmute your energy and respecting your energy, and understanding why it's important to hold on, friend, hold on, because my son. I told you I was recording a video, friend. Oh. um, but I was saying, that it's important to understand your energy and protect your energy. And what does that mean? Like, what exactly does it mean to protect your energy, to protect your space? And so I was explaining in a previous video how I was in a tumultuous relationship, or whatever the case may be, and that I made a choice to stay in that relationship or stay in that situation for the duration and the time that I chose to do so, because of the sake of, or for the sake of my marriage, because I wanted to um protect and keep my marriage, because I valued the sanctity of marriage. And I learned that in the process of doing that, I allowed myself to be subjected to a lot of things that I didn't necessarily need to be subjected to, because I did not fully understand how to protect my energy. And so what I had to do was learn, just sit on the floor. What I had to do was learn to love myself and learn to acknowledge who I was and listen to my own internal voice. And in doing so, I learned to recognize and realize who I was and who I was becoming, and recognize and realize and know what my intentions were and what kind of vibrational frequency I was sending out into the atmosphere, out into the world. And so, in doing so, like taking that time to like really sit with myself and be still and understand myself and understand how I was actually feeling, helped me to understand, excuse me, my energy. Your energy is your mood and your emotional, um, EQ, emotional equity, your emotional knowledge, your emotional understanding of self, and things of that nature. And so I chose to listen to my own internal voice. I chose to respect myself and respect my environment. I chose to establish boundaries and standards. And in doing so, that meant I had to listen to myself. I had to recognize where I was not listening to myself. I had to recognize where I was not paying attention to myself. I had to recognize where I was not showing up for myself in the manner in which I should have been, and learn how to establish a boundary to protect myself, so that I'm no longer allowing myself to be subjugated to situations or circumstances that were not beneficial to me. And so once I began to do that, I begin to understand my personal energy. Your energy is your essence. It is your frequency. It is the essence of your being. It is what keeps you alive and thriving and moving around. Like they say, prana. Your life force energy is your prana, the breath that you breathe and what you exude. And so I always wanted my energy to be positive. So how can my energy be positive? Okay, I have to be optimistic. I have to be hopeful. I have to be charismatic. I have to have a positive mindset. I have to have positive intentions, and like really be intentional about the decisions and choices I was choosing to make and the people that I was choosing to put myself around. And so when you protect your energy, that means that you are making a conscientious, alert, and aware decision about who, what, when, where, or why you are exposing yourself or allowing yourself to be exposed to or receive from your environment and circumstances or situations that you are engaged in or that you happen upon. And so I learned to protect my energy, meaning I learned to protect myself by being very my friend, she said I was picky. I didn't consider myself to be picky. She's like, you're very picky about your energy. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not picky. She was like, yes, you are. You're very stuck up about how you choose to be around. And I was like, I'm not stuck up. And she was like, well, maybe that's a poor choice of words. But she was like, because she calls me Banky. She was like, Banky, you're very particular about who you allow around you, who you allow to be close to, who you interact with, who you talk. I said, oh yeah, if that's the case, then that's true. I will acknowledge that. I am picky about who I communicate with and who I socialize with or who I let get close to me. It's only but so many people that actually really get close to me. And I'm a very personable people person. However, at the same time, I'm also an extreme hermit. And it's only but so many people that know so much about me or that I'll allow to be in my circle. And so I'm learning, and I have learned that the less you allow people around you, the better, right? Because it allows you to be grounded within yourself, to become secure within who you are as a person. And the more secure you become with yourself, and the less that you allow yourself to be exposed to the outside world. Not to say that you know detach yourself, but detachment is key to a degree, because you have to know how to separate yourself from others so that you can feel your own feelings and understand your own emotions and your moods and your habits, and the different things that help you to thrive. And when you begin to do that, you begin to understand your energy. You begin to understand how you function, how you act, how you respond, how you show up. And you begin to pay, I know, start running. You begin to pay more attention to yourself. And the more attention you pay to yourself, and the more that you begin to love on yourself and respect yourself and listen to yourself, and choose to do or be around, positive things. Because I said in the last video, birds of a feather flock together. When you begin to surround yourself with positive beings and people that are moving or doing the same thing, or moving or operating and the echelon or the aspect in which you're choosing or wanting to operate in, you will begin to find that you yourself will begin to elevate as well. So you have to learn how to protect your energy. You have to learn how to pray, to fast, to meditate, to sit with yourself, to be still with yourself, to journal. How to, because lately this season, I've been allowing myself to feel my feelings and not just hold them in and not express them, but feel my feelings, express them, and release them so that I can give myself the space to heal. And in doing that, I'm going to do that in the privacy of a safe space, my home. You know what I'm saying? Or wherever where I'm chilling at, where I feel like I can be safe at, or where I can trust or respect the environment, or the environment that I'm in can trust and respect me. Right. So when you protect your energy, you have to also be very conscientious, alert, and aware of the people that you surround yourself with and the choices that you make. And so I'm very selective about my friend choice or my friend group. Like, I'm cool with a lot of people, but I don't call a lot of people friends. Because everybody, like my mom used to say, everybody that smile in your face is not your friend. Everything that glitters is not gold. Just because it seems like it's okay or it seems like it's good doesn't mean it's the great or the right thing for you. Excuse me. So you have to be very what's the word I'm looking for? Not picky, but you have to be very conscientious, alert, and aware about what's wrong, babe. You grabbed the wrong way. Cord. Need a different cord. You can't just use the HDMI? Sorry. But you have to be very conscious, alert, and aware about the group of people that you choose to put yourself around. And then, like, when you take that time to take a step back and you, in essence, for lack of a better term, isolate yourself to a degree, you will begin to see things around you or be made aware of things around you that you didn't pay attention to before, right? Like you'll be able to start, excuse me, recognizing who pulls on you, who lifts you up, who, I'm sorry, I keep looking at my son to see what the hell he's doing because I'm trying to make sure he don't drop my damn TV. I'm supposed to be recording a video, but I'm like, it's not gonna sit up, babe. It's supposed to kind of lean a little bit.
Yeah, but it's like
just slide it back. No,
I'm just concerned.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all, because I don't, and y'all know I don't know how to edit. I'm working on it. I'm learning. I'm learning. Um, but I'm very conscious, alert, and aware of my environment. And when I began to learn how to protect my energy, what I had to do was take a step back. I had to isolate. I had to take some time to sit by myself and be okay with sitting by myself. And that's not like something that's just done overnight. You know what I'm saying? I actually had to do this for some months. It actually turned into a couple of years of just being by myself, being away from family, away from friends or the so called friend group. Of course, I naturally had to go to work, but even at work, like even coworkers, I had to like step back from coworkers just because it was just like something just didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Trusting your intuition. Your intuition never steers you wrong. Your intuition is like that inner knowing, that inner voice that just be like, hey, something ain't right. It's like that like people might say the hair that stands up on the back of your neck, or the feeling that your stomach gets when you get like the bubble guts or something. I don't know. or butterflies. And butterflies in your stomach. I said bubble guts. I'm goofy. Um, but like the butterflies in your stomach, or the like when you get goosebumps, that is your intuition or your spirit, your inner being talking to you to let you know or giving you a signal of your surroundings. And so the better you pay attention to yourself, and the more you begin to pay attention to yourself, and the more you begin to listen to yourself and listen to your inner being and listen to your body and pay attention to your body and pay attention to your thoughts, you begin to actually hone in on your true essence, energy, and your power. And you are then able to tap into your power, because now I can control, or I can decide, or I can choose who, what, when, where, why, or how I want to show up, right? Or whom I want to show up for, or what way, you know what I'm saying? You become more alert and aware, right? And to protect your energy, you have to learn how to be okay and comfortable with walking away from things that no longer mesh or fit right. The thing is, you're not going to be able to sit if you're still in it and you're not taking that time to like sit by yourself and be still. Like, like for example, I had some family members that I felt like were energy vampires. I'm like, damn, every time I come around y'all, I feel like I'm sucked dry. I don't have, it's like I go around, I'm pumped up, I'm excited. I'm like, yay, let's do this. And then I get there and I'm sitting there and they just start talking. And it's like, whoa, it's me. It's like, pity this. I'm going through this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then you get sucked into it because it's like, oh, well, I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through. And then you want to start to offer like, advice, or you actually start to care about what's going on, and then before you know, you didn't got wrapped up in a situation, and the whole purpose or point of you even being there wasn't even met. And then, or you go around and you hanging out, and you're cooling, and then next thing you know, you go home and you're just like, damn, I feel exhausted. Or like your mood instantly changes when you get around certain people. These type of people are like energy vampires. These are people that feed off of your good energy, or whatever's going on, and they take that energy and they use it for themselves. And it can be the same way with like negative energy. Like they can transmute the energy or transfer energy, or energy transfers, where you might be in a mood or feeling some kind of way and feeling great, and then they might say something to trigger you or irritate you, or it might just be a situation where their mood is just, their energy is just so off or so just heavy that it alters your entire mood, your whole function of how you're you operating. And so I'll give you another example, because recently I went to the store with my son, And it was a Sunday. It was like matter of fact, I believe it was last Sunday. And I may be guilty of the person of carrying that energy, carrying that spirit, or whatever the case may be. But I got so irritated. So I went to the store and I had made a purchase. And I got home. I went to the store and I made a purchase. And I wound up going to the second store. And when I went to the second store, I saw what I had purchased in the first store, and the second store was cheaper. So I was like, well, let me take what I purchased from the first store back, get my money back, and just go to the second store and get it from the second store because it was cheaper. Right? So I go back to the first store, to make this exchange. So I said, instead of me getting my money back, I'll see if they have the other item that I wanted to purchase, which they wound up not having. So I, again, had to naturally go to the booth and let the lady know, hey, I did purchase this from your store earlier today or yesterday or whatever the case may be. And I noticed that, I was going to try to make an exchange and you guys don't have what I wanted to exchange it for. So is it possible we can just get the refund? And I gave her the receipt and everything. And so she gives me the money back. And so I'm like, well, what would you like for me to do with the product? I'll put it back on the shelf if you want me to, or like, how would you like me to handle it? So she's like, well, can you give it to the lady at the cashier number one? So I'm like, okay. As I proceed to walk over to cash register number one, it's 3 people standing in line. It's an older woman, a middle-aged woman, and then a guy behind her. I watched this woman strategically move her cart to assist this man to like get in a better, like, I guess, alignment, to get in line or whatever the case may be. And so I began to walk over and I'm like, okay, excuse me, is it possible I can get past you? I'm not trying to read you or anything, but I was asked by the woman in the booth to give this item to the lady at cashier number one, and this is register number one. I just need to give this to her so that I can actually exit the market. And so the lady is like, I can't move. Now, mind you, I had just watched this lady like strategically move her cart and everything to assist the gentleman behind her. So I'm with my own 2 eyes, I'm watching you help somebody else. And then when I simply just walked over just to say, excuse me, so I could get past. And it's, I can't move and I'm not moving. And I was just like, okay, well, I was asked by from the booth to bring this over here. And I'm attempting to be compliant. I just want to leave the market. I don't want to rude you. I'm not trying to get in front of you. I'm not trying to like cause any friction or anything. And I can't go to another register to do to another register because the woman said I specifically had to give it to the lady to register one. So is it possible you can back up or just let me pass so I can give this item over to the woman so that I can leave the market? I just want to leave. And so she's like, no, I can't move. So I kindly shifted her cart. I said, okay, I'm just going to squeeze past. And I shifted her cart, walked past her. I said, excuse me, I asked you twice. You refused to move. I shifted past her, said what I had to say to the woman at the register. I said, hi, the woman in the booth asked me to hand this over to you. She said to let you know that this is a return and to tell you thank you, whatever. And I'm leaving. And I said that everything was, squared away. She just wanted me to give it to you so that it's not just, sitting around and nobody to take it. And she says, oh, okay, thank you so much. I said, you're welcome. Thank you. And so I proceed to try to leave the market. Now, mind you, it's another woman that's in front of me. Excuse me. So I'm like, excuse me. And she's like, well, who are you? And what do you want? Pause, ma'am. I didn't ask you anything. I just want to leave. So I'm like, I said, you all have a blessed day. I'm leaving the market. So I finally get past the second woman and I leave out of the market. And so I'm walking back to my car and I'm irritated. I'm just like, yo, I can't stand going to the market on a Sunday. I'm ranting. Like, I'm like, ugh, like, and I'm like, I don't want to blow up on these people because what is the purpose of the point of that? However, I'm irritated now, right? Because I'm like, sis, like, just move out the way so I can get out the market. So as I proceed to walk to my car, I'm irritated. I get in the car and I'm going off. My son's like, what's the matter? And I'm like, I can't stand church people. I'm like, I can't stand some church people. Some church people are just so hypocritical. They just come from church and they supposed to be in good spirits and good mood and good energy. And I'm speaking to them. I'm being kind. I said, good afternoon, good morning, whatever. And they were just acting like I was just like scum of the earth because I asked you to scoot back so I could get out of the freaking supermarket. And it was like the energy that I was getting from these women was like, well, I'm not moving because you're not getting in front of me. I've been standing in line on the side. Like, I don't want to get in front of you. I just want to get out. So my son's like, Mom, don't make a big deal out of nothing. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I said, but this is why I don't like going shopping on certain days, especially at certain times, because sometimes the energy of people just be, like, I'd rather just be in the house and be to myself or whatever the case may be. And so my son's like, don't let that get you down. Let's go to the other store. So we go to the second store. I'm still a little, but I'm like, okay, whatever. As soon as I walked in the second store, it was almost like the energy had followed me to the second store. And so the people in the store, the lines were like extremely long, and the guy was going off. He's like, it was like as soon as I walked in the store, the guy just started going off. And I was like, oh my goodness, the energy transference is real. So you have to be very, very careful of the energy that you exude, whether you intend to exude negative energy or not. You have to be very, very careful of the energy that you put out or the energy that you are in or that you are sitting in, because it can be infectious. You can open the doorway to another person or another being, especially if they are in that vibrational frequency. You can open the door for them or for that spirit or that energy to come into them. Because as soon as I walked into the second store, the guy starts going off. And he's like, this doesn't make any sense. The line is extremely long. And now you're talking about closing another line. He's yelling, he's screaming. I'm like, bro, you knew, and everybody knows that when you go in this particular store, that these lines are always like this, that they only have this amount or this many people in this line. So, like, just prepare yourself. Like, be patient. You know what I'm saying? Yelling and ranting and raving and screaming is not going to make the situation any better. And that was something that my son had to say to me, like, man, I understand you upset, but let it go, right? And sometimes it's easier said than done. Sometimes it's really, really, in fact, it is easier said than done. It's easier to say, hey, it's okay, calm down. My 8-year-old son, he screams at me, how? How do I calm down? And I'm like, breathe. Literally breathe. When you feel yourself being triggered, when you feel yourself being irritated, agitated, annoyed, or just being taken out of the energy or the mood that you are in, take a step back and breathe, regroup, reset. Because if not, you are going to subject your energy and your vibrational frequency to that of those around you, or you're going to open the door for low vibrational frequencies to come into you, meaning you are welcoming in that negative energy. You're welcoming in that negative feeling. You're welcoming in that low vibrational energy, entity, emotion, whatever the case may be. You're opening the door to welcome that in. So it is very, very important for you to always be mindful of the energy that you are in or the mood that you are in, because if you are not conscientious, alert, or aware of that, you will subject yourself to energy or entities that you don't need to be subjected to, or put yourself in a mood that you don't need to be in. And you can become a portal, or you can become a vessel for that negative energy to implant itself. So you have to learn how to protect your energy. So you have to learn how to take a step back and breathe, regroup, reprogram, process differently, right? React and respond differently. Be in control of you and not allow outside things to be in control of you. So you have to learn how to protect your energy. You have to learn how to protect your energy. And protecting your energy is key. It's understanding and knowing who you are from the inside out. Protecting your energy is praying for your spiritual self. Protecting your energy is fasting for your physical body. Protecting and exercising too, because if you don't exercise and keep your body moving, because your body is designed to move, your body will break down as well. Because people are like, oh well, I'll just be chilling. You got to move around too. You don't move around, what do you expect to happen to you? You're going to get stiff. You're going to develop arthritis. You're going to osteoporosis, things of those natures. All these different ailments come into play when you don't take care of yourself. So you also have to know how to physically, mentally, emotionally protect your environment. Keeping your environment clean. Like the phrase, cleanliness is next to godliness. It is. When you have clutter and just disarray or just a mess around you, you are welcoming in the spirit of chaos. You are welcoming in the spirit of confusion. You are welcoming in the spirit of distraction, the spirit of procrastination. When I look around my home, oh my goodness, I'm telling you, the spirit of procrastination be up in this joint. I be able to rebuke that nigga. I'm sorry. I be able to rebuke that energy. Like, hold on, friend. No, we're not gonna do that. Let me just mind over matter. Mind over matter. And I have to talk myself into doing things that need to get done, especially when it comes to cleaning up. But I talk to my kids. I'm not gonna say but. However, I talk to my kids about keeping the house clean, cleaning up behind yourself, and respecting the energy and the frequency and the environment is key too, because many of us thrive off of our environment. Like I know for me, I thrive with my environment. If my outward environment is a disarray and chaotic, my inner environment is a disarray and chaotic. So my outward is an expression of my inner, and my inner is an expression of my outer. Right? So if I understand that the two of them walk hand in hand, okay, let me fix this. Let me rectify this. Let me put it together. Let me make sure it makes sense so that I can function and I can flow and be at peace. Because protecting yourself also means to understand your peace, to protect your peace. Protecting your energy is understanding how you are able to just relax and rest and feel safe and feel secure within whatever environment you are in. Your peace is inner. You have to find inner peace. I don't know why I'm laughing, because the first thing that came to me was what kind of creature was that in Kung Fu Panda? And he was like inner peace. The inner peace, you gotta find your inner peace. I can't remember the little creature name, but he was right. You have to find that part of you, or find within yourself peace. And that is learning to fully accept and trust yourself. So protecting your peace is learning how to be in control of you and not let anything else or anyone else be in control of you, or operate you, or function within you, or to throw you off in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So that is my message for this evening, light bugs. Is that time right? Is it really 12:11? Oh, wow. I didn't know it was that late. So I'm going to leave that there. And remember always, light bugs, to thine own self be true. Peace.